Logan Paul is doing whatever I'm sure is the bare minimum to try and save as much face as possible. What is the ratio of face I can get to amount paid? How little can I pay in order to save as much face as possible? Because right now his stock is pretty scum. Like most people, even super Logan Paul fans are like, why did you let the pig die, Logan? He's like, it was my brat. It's like, why are you ripping off your own fans, Logan? So it's like, okay, I'm gonna do my attack piece on Coffeezilla. It fails fantastically. It is so hilariously garbage. At which point it's like, okay, well, this is bad. How can we dig up? What can we do here? Well, why don't you finish the project? Why don't you reconnect with the community, get back in the Discord for the first time in like a year and a half, and start saying how do you do, you know? Here's a quick 1, 2, 4, 5, 30-second rundown of this.
Well, it's finally over.
No! Silence, Coffeezilla. I have to tell the people, oh, where did the thumbnail go? I want to, okay, alright, well, maybe we'll just put there. Here we go. Big things. That's not even in the corner. Alright, hold on. Display. There it is. That's, now, hold on. Chat. I know you feel lonely. But bam! There we go. I can adjust this ever so slightly. Hi, everybody. I'm going to give you a very quick recap as to what is happening with Logan Paul. Logan Paul is a scumbag of the highest order. I don't need to tell you that. You already know that. He started a cryptocurrency company called CryptoZoo, in which you would spend lots of money on these NFTs, and they were eggs, and then you were going to be able to evolve the eggs into creatures, and then trade the creatures and have them evolve and fuck each other maybe, and then make babies into new NFTs and mint them and all that kind of stuff. It was a whole thing. He started it and then just completely dropped it, didn't pay the programmer. Programmer took the code and left, and obviously nothing happened. And then Coffeezilla exposed him all over the place. And then he tried to do a hit piece on Coffeezilla, and his response to Coffeezilla was basically like, see, Coffeezilla, you were wrong, because everyone that you talked about is actually way fucking worse than you thought. I was working with some really, really bad people. Actually, here's how bad they all are. Here's everyone I worked with, and here's all the other shitty things that they've done and or I probably should have known about. I surrounded myself with the worst possible team on this one. So, got you, Coffeezilla. Haha. The internet's detective, they say. I'm probably gonna sue you. I'm probably going to sue you now. I'm probably going to do a lawsuit on you and sue you in a court of law for things. So, yep, let's put that video out there. Went up. Did not do well, was the laughingstock of the internet for a little bit, got downvoted to fuck, and so he took it down. He was and just took the video down, delete. Then said the Matrix is coming after him, you know, the Andrew Tate line. And then it got revealed that apparently he's also into animal endangerment. Like maybe that gets him off. I mean, that's my personal, you know, let's just say spices on the story itself. The story involves him adopting animals like pigs and then finding out they grow up into pigs and then realizing he didn't want to take pigs and take care of them. So he would just either sell them or neglect them, or they would be sold off to someone else. That person he sold them to apparently was a good person, but then that good person who's totally good and is probably trustworthy, that person sold it to a bad person. See, he sold it to the good person, but the good person sold it to a really bad person, and the bad person almost let the pig die, and then the pig got found alongside another pig that is also suspected to have been Logan Paul's pig, who died, and then the actual pig itself looked like it was on the verge of death, but now is being taken care of and is a happy story, and everyone was like, well, so Logan Paul is just a massive, monstrous-ass scumbag who's really, really, really shit. And that brings us to this. So I'm kind of curious, after all that, where the story is going to lie.
Well, it's finally over. Logan Paul apologized.
Coffeezilla, you're slimy as he is a lopsided journalist with an agenda, more like an internet criminal.
Oops, wrong video. That was the first response. He actually apologized in another response.
It's like a little gnat. It's like a little annoying gnat. It bothers me. The defamation lawsuit, that is happening because this is wrong. This is wrong.
Hold on, wait a second. That's not it either. Turns out it's actually on his secondary channel. That's why I couldn't find it. It's entitled, Thank You, Coffeezilla. It's the third response from Logan Paul, and it's a pretty big change in Logan's attitude so far. So let's see what he has to say to it.
Did he do the Charlie Smallface to Coffeezilla? He did.
Coffeezilla is not a criminal.
Oh, that's a relief. I thought...
Oh, it took a long time, you know the hero's journey. have you all read and or studied the hero's journey? Because we skipped a few steps. Let's be real. In terms of the dial, we went all the way to the 3/4 mark, but we're nearly there. We're nearly there.
Logan was gonna hire me. But in all seriousness, this video does have some major admissions in it I want to go through. For one, Logan apologizes to me.
I called him, I apologized. My initial response to his series was that of fire.
Yeah, it was pretty much.
Okay, it's a hell of a drug.
An ego.
Not only that, Logan also pledges a $1.3 million refund plan for people who bought his NFTs.
I am personally committing 1,000 ETH to this, which is about $1.3 million.
In addition to that, he also promises to finish CryptoZoo, which was left.
Whoa, after all that, after being exposed as a fucking scam artist for this shit, it's like, you know what? I'm gonna make things right, okay? Let's do it all again. let's do the whole thing again. Come on, friends, fam. I'm gonna pour a bunch of my own money into it. You know how I said I did last time? I didn't do that. I didn't pay the $1 million to the programmer, and he actually stole the code. So didn't do it last time, but this time, holy hell, you'll be able to see it. It's going to be on the blockchain. You'll see the transfer of the ETH. So when you see it, you know it's definitely because I'm investing in this, not because I'm intending to take it back at a different point down the road. I'm not going to scam you.
Abandoned.
And then step 3, obviously finish and deliver the game as outlined in the white paper.
Now, I'll be honest, this is a big change in tone, and honestly, a lot of this is good news. It's great that victims are going to get something back. Logan seems to acknowledge his continuous lapse in judgment. He's not suing me, which is also cool. And frankly, this new response is just way better than his last two. I think we can all acknowledge that, while also acknowledging that it's not really a perfect response either. There are still major problems here. Like, for example, many of the victims just have been ignored in this response. A lot of accusations have gone unanswered, and worse, Logan still seems to be playing the victim a lot. So in this video, I'm gonna do my best to give Logan credit where credit is absolutely due, while also sharing moments where I think this apology fell flat. And let me start with a positive. For example, I think if you are an outsider who is not affected by this scam and you wanted a reason to love Logan Paul again, I think this nails it. I mean, he's giving back some of the money, he's apologizing. So if you're a card-carrying member of the Low Gang, you can rest easy here. Logan says he's sorry, he says he's making things right, and I think that's the point of this video, is to speak to his core audience, to tell them he didn't scam anyone, and for what it's worth, I think Logan succeeds here. The problem is, I don't think So, by the way, the key term is scam with intent, right? So, like, if you start a project, you're completely within your right, especially if it's like something you crowdfunded or GoFundMe, to just drop that project, or it doesn't become feasible, or something else comes up, or life, or whatever, you can stop that. So if you're like, hey, I'm going to start this idea, it's a game, and I'm going to make it, and it's also going to be blockchain based, and, you know, invest on the early grounds, and then you just drop it. Well, yeah, I mean, technically you can do that. People would lose money in that process, though, of course, especially all the people who bought the early minted NFTs, hoping they were going to evolve into creatures that they eventually could use in a video game to be able to generate even more income and or passive income or something, whatever. You're still fucking them all over. You're scamming them. It may not be for self-enrichment. That would be the difference. So Logan Paul could do the whole thing and not do it because he was rug pulling or looking to make a bunch of money, but that doesn't change the fact that a bunch of people along the way got fucked. Or the CryptoZoo holders were who Logan was really addressing here. And this is where the response falls more flat, because he doesn't adequately address the real victims of CryptoZoo, which I think they're rightfully angry about. And I wanted to spend some time talking about that because, again, they've been the heartbeat of this whole story, and they feel very differently about this response than Logan's core audience does. They don't feel like it's enough. And I want to talk about why. Starting with the $1.3 million repayment plan, because obviously this is the strongest part of Logan's entire response, actually opening up his wallet. And I don't want to minimize that in this video. I just do want to put it in context, because $1.3 million is a lot of money. Unfortunately, the scam was much bigger than $1.3 million. So the fact is, most victims are not going to be made whole by this plan. Just in Zoo coins alone, blockchain evidence shows $7.7 million was stolen by Logan's team, depending on who you believe. And this refund does nothing for those victims. it doesn't even apply to the holder of Zoo coins at all. You get nothing if you bought this in-game currency. This refund only applies to current egg holders, so they can cash out that NFT for the initial mint price in crypto.
This is all so fucking like every single NFT project you ever see. Like it's like, did you just go to stock photograph / you know, AI generated art for every single aspect of this?
Which matters sort of because crypto has crashed a lot. So even though people spent $2.5 million on these eggs, in order to refund all these holders at mint price, it now only costs $1.3 million in today's money, which again is nice, but doesn't do enough because the Zoo coins were most of this scam. I mean, that's where most of the money was spent. It wasn't just on the NFTs. It was on this in-game currency, which Logan seems to have no intention of refunding. And his response for why is pretty bad. He responds to somebody who lost $80,000 who told him, "I hope this isn't just doing what you have to do technically to not get sued." Logan replies with a screenshot of his white paper and later explains to another member of the Discord, "I believe there has been a misconception here. As outlined in the white paper, Zoo was created to support CryptoZoo and was not intended to be an investment vehicle. When you sold or bought is not my decision." And look, to be fair to him, there was a misconception that Zoo was an investment vehicle, but it's a misconception that he created. I mean, he's the one who's...
I was like, yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of footage of him saying things that would lead people to believe the whole idea was to invest early.
Said CryptoZoo was a fun game that earned you money, and how it earned you that money was that your NFTs earned you Zoo tokens. You know, things that were supposed to have
all my
value.
eggs
That was
gone.
the whole point of the game. So to suggest that these coins weren't advertised as valuable or an investment vehicle is insane, especially since Logan's own team had rules for selling based strictly on the value of said investment vehicle. Quote, "Rules for selling, no selling until a $200 million market cap." So I think it's fair to say if Logan's own team were buying Zoo coins early, waiting for them to go up in value to a certain level and then selling them, that sounds like an investment vehicle, albeit a very stupid one. So this explanation definitely doesn't hold water, and Logan obviously just doesn't want to be on the hook for Zoo coins. Instead, he just kind of wants to refund the much smaller part of the NFTs. What makes this even worse is that this refund doesn't even apply to everyone who bought these NFTs, because some of these people sold their NFTs at a deep loss thinking that CryptoZoo was over, that it was abandoned. And there's actually a way you could have tracked this whole thing, or Logan could have, and, you know, found a way to repay all the people who lost money on eggs. But instead, this refund only applies to current holders, meaning nobody who sold during the year and a half this project was abandoned gets anything back.
Okay, Coffeezilla's being really nice. I'm gonna have to be Coffeezilla's anger translator or whatever here. Logan Paul is doing whatever I'm sure is the bare fucking minimum to try and save as much face as possible. What is the ratio of face I can get to amount paid? How little can I pay in order to save as much face as possible? Because right now his stock is pretty fucking scum. Like most people, even super Logan Paul fans, are like, why did you let the pig die, Logan? He's like, it's like, why are you ripping off your own fans, Logan? So it's like, okay, I'm gonna do my attack piece on Coffeezilla. It fails fantastically. It is so hilariously garbage. At which point it's like, okay, well, this is bad. How can we dig up? What can we do here? Well, why don't you finish the project? Why don't you reconnect with the community, get back in the Discord for the first time in like a year and a half, and start saying, how do you do, you know?
Which is a large percentage of the actual victims, and this is pretty bad. This was brought to Logan's attention by one of the people in the Discord. Joao says, quote, "Logan Paul, what will happen to the people who sold everything at a loss when the project appeared to be, quote, abandoned? Will everyone who minted be able to get that refund, or just the current owners?" Now, in reply to this, someone in the Discord said, "If you sell, you lose common investing knowledge." And Logan replies,
"Thanks, King Vincent
to
6.
agree with this idea, which is just kind of a terrible perspective for
Wow.
Logan to have when he seems to be saying that he wants to refund these people. And he's the reason a lot of these people left. And this is where Logan's new apology starts to ring more hollow. It's in all of the follow-ups after the response video because...
Oh, see, like I'm coming into this from a different headspace, I guess. Maybe it's like a different vibe. See, I thought the whole thing was hollow, just from the moment I saw his face. Like when his face popped up on the screen, I was like, hollow, vacuous, no substance. There's nothing here. He's only here to save face.
I don't know if he can help himself from betraying how he really feels about this, because in another Discord exchange, Logan says, please do not put any more money into CryptoZoo, which, by the way, is quite reasonable to say, but then
good advice. the first good piece of advice that he's given.
Somebody follows up and says, guys...
Weird thing to say for a project leader who's like, hey, we're doing this again. You know how you thought this was abandoned? It's not abandoned. In fact, I'm investing way more money into it. We're going to the moon, baby. Don't invest. Please don't invest more.
I want to explain what he said with not investing. But rather than replying, oh, guys, I just meant like I don't want anyone else losing money, or, you know, I don't want anyone else recklessly gambling, Logan replies instead, quote, I will no longer be the scapegoat for anyone's financial decision.
Hey, what up, Lost?
Which is a wild response for someone who's claiming to refund people, because it implies that he thinks he's the victim here. And this is just insane to say as the face of this project, which got everyone involved, because I think it betrays how he feels about this situation. He doesn't seem to see anything wrong with advertising a game that will make you money, it never delivering, millions of dollars being stolen by criminals he hired. And then when all of those people want their money back, he feels like he's the scapegoat. Like, oh, these guys shouldn't have believed me when I advertised to them a fun game that will make you money. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, Logan had a simple job to do. All he had to do was just come out, apologize, get as much money back for the victims as possible. But he himself can't help but play the victim here. In fact, I have a third example of how Logan might really feel, because Logan tweeted right before this response. He says, quote, the Matrix is real. Pray you never become its target. Now,
So right now my stock is pretty low. A lot of people real mad at me. The whole animal endangerment thing, that just doesn't play well in any group. There's not really a group that is like really into that outside of like fucking sickos. So what do I do here? Obviously, you know, that attack ad or a hit piece that I did on Coffeezilla also didn't play very well. You know what? Why don't we invoke Andrew Tate? Everyone seems to love him, right? He's not really done anything remotely controversial.
I guess he's trying to channel Andrew Tate here unsuccessfully, basically saying like, I'm getting attacked, not because I did anything wrong or scammed anyone. I'm just too much of a truth teller. I'm just an enemy of the system. That's why I must be getting attacked. But if that's the case, we then have to wonder, did the Matrix force you to apologize? Did it force you to hand back 1.3 million? I just think comments like this go so far to undercut his apology, because...
And also, let's be real, everyone now who's like a fucking influencer, celebrity, online person has now started adopting that term as a way to fucking not be accountable for their shit. It's like, hey, you did some shitty shit. That sucked. It's like, oh, well, wasn't me, dog. Was the Matrix. Looks, oh, wait, are you accusing me of something? Oh, you're the Matrix. No, I'm not the Matrix. I'm fucking telling you that was shitty what you did. I'm telling you this to your face. That was a shitty thing. Don't do it. Oh, fuck. You're the Matrix, bro. You Matrixing out on me. Fucking Matrix. I've taken too many red pills.
That instead of actually like caring about the victims, he feels like he's a victim. I mean,
yeah.
He's saying like, oh, pray you never become its target. Who's the Matrix though, Logan? Like, is it your fans
criticism
who got robbed?
No, it's criticism.
Who are the agents
you are
coming after you?
It's criticism. You are levying fair criticism at him. You are the Matrix.
I know it's not me. I know
no, it is. It 100% is Coffeezilla. That's what Logan Paul is referencing. People holding him accountable. The Matrix, you know.
I'm not saying I'm the Matrix here in my $10 million studio. Because after all, you're thanking me. You're thanking the Matrix. Like, what is this response? It's so childish, the way he speaks about this stuff. And again, this isn't to be dismissive of Logan's actions if he follows through, because there is a lot of good that 1.3 million can do. And you know what? If he goes back and he finishes the game, that's also good. But it's just so frustrating when the good that Logan seems to be doing, he's doing the bare minimum of at the last possible second with motivations that seem to be, in the proper context, to say it lightly, irreparably tainted by self-interest. Now, I'm not going to address
Yes.
Logan's other 2 response videos, which are mostly like attacking me, because Logan sort of walked those back.
Well, this one doesn't exist anymore. Deleted this one.
Back now, he's
I just realized, like, were you? Oh, you were going for the. Oh, okay. You're both doing the same aesthetic. I get it.
apologized. He said he was going to delete them. I think he deleted one of them. The other one's still up. I don't know if the impulsive episode's going to go down. Either way, it's just much less interesting now that he says he doesn't like mean it anymore. He's not going to sue. So I don't feel the need to publicly defend myself. If you're curious about all the wild stuff that was wrong in those first 2 responses, I'll put the video live on my Patreon, but I didn't want to release it at the time because I thought there was a better chance at getting a good ending for the victims here if I was a bit more diplomatic with Logan at this critical juncture when he was deciding whether he was going to give money back or not. I don't know if I succeeded in moving the needle, but that was certainly my intention. Either way, now that Logan has responded with his plan, and I've given my perspective on how much I think it's rooted in, self-interest versus a genuine, attempt to help out the victims, I think this is about as much as I'm going to be able to contribute to this situation. I mean, I do think it's incredible that even $1.3 million came of this, while I also can acknowledge that it's not nearly enough for the real victims of this. I'll follow up in the future to make sure that he actually gives that money away. But for now, I think most of the CryptoZoo victims, if they're still hungry for justice, are going to have to take it up with Logan in ways that are different than I can do on YouTube here. Which, by the way, I think some of them are. In fact, I just saw a lawyer on YouTube, Attorney Tom. He's going to start the legal process going after Logan using stuff like
YouTube lawyer going after a YouTuber.
Service. So I just wanted to say, if you're a victim of CryptoZoo, you can check out that video, which I'll link to you if you want, or consult with a lawyer, because I'm sure for the people who lost a lot of money, this is certainly not the end for them because they didn't get a full refund, and I'm sure they'll be seeking one. But even though it's not the end for them, it is the end for me for now. This is the end of the CryptoZoo saga, and I wanted to say and give a huge heartfelt thank you to everyone who viewed this and supported me throughout this. It's been insane, the level of support when Logan was threatening us, and I do not take it lightly.
Did make the cut. To be fair, everyone on screen right now has like 500,000 subscribers or more.
There is an alternate universe where if that hadn't happened, Logan would feel emboldened to sue me and
Caspa,
probably
1103,
not give
thank you.
much back to the victims. So it's your support that made all the difference and got the victims at least
Wow, the React Andy's actually got credit for a change, because normally it's like, well, they're just stealing the content.
something. So that wraps it up. Thank you for watching.
Really well done, by the way. The entire saga, start to finish, was a wild ride. I don't think it's over. It's probably over for Coffeezilla. I just mean it's probably not over for what's this? Logan Paul, the scam artist. He's probably gonna keep scamming. I'm my prediction is that's not going anywhere. But you know, he'll do a couple. I'm so sorry. I can't believe I did this. Go support Coffeezilla and his work. You probably already know about him, but if you don't, go subscribe to his channel because he's doing good stuff.
Do you enjoy the Serfs but prefer not to have to use your eyeballs? Many are saying this. Well, we've got the solution for you. It's the Serf Times in podcast form. Available on most major podcasting networks now. If you enjoy it, please consider leaving a good review and feedback because it really helps the show out, apparently, and it's free, just like the podcast.
To our gods, Xander Corvus and Peyton L. Juste, we shall spend many a generations building mighty cathedrals in your honor. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, we are but your oafish jesters, here to offer you a laugh at any opportunity. To our brave knights of the Round Table, Rachel K., Izzy Solidarity, Victoria Bell, Sebastian Demel, Mark Harmon, Benji Arney, Scary Earth Human, Tony, DM Rivera, Resident Scarecrow, Sir Nickus, Cheryl Alvarez, Ruby Kelly, Brandon, Words Greenwood, Everything Important, Hegbert Celine, Matthew Scarborough, Stellar Vision, Ariane McCarthy, Doug Cady, Daniel Sutton, Jenna Tal, Dark Puppy, Quiet One 85, Anna Loves Riley, Omni, Riley and Anna, Poodlehawk, Multimondi, Trevbot EXE, Brian Ephraim, Anthropophojack, Catherine, Ramon Acosta, Incosin, Ralph Parler, Violent Orchard, Political Puppy, La Media Panza, Todd Buckingham, and Todd Lajeunesse. We salute our valiant heroes off to fight injustice everywhere.